Wonderful. Thank you for being here. I'm excited to be here with you. I missed you over the last weekend. Over the weekend, it's been a little while. We had Thanksgiving, and then I took Friday off, and so here we are. Welcome, welcome, welcome. This is the Lions Den. We are here to evolve and grow together and support each other and love each other and talk about neuroscience, health, and wellness. Today, we're talking about supplements to help during cold and flu season. If you're just arriving, please put your first name and where you're from in the chat. And if you have a question, please put your first name and your question. By the way, anytime you're on, please put your first name. That way I can talk to you because it takes a while to read your names. Winch Binch. We missed you too. I thank you. That's very kind of you. Amber Foos, working on my reproductive biology final. Don't let me distract you. Watch the replay on YouTube. Chills in my legs. Oh my, that sounds exciting. Sophia from the Philippines. Hi, Sophia. How do I feel about liquid ketones? They're valuable. They don't put you in ketosis, though. Sing for us. La, 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 la. Thank you for asking. Well, hello, Cindy Gonzalez. Hello from New Jersey. Roar. Yes, if you're an evolving lion, give me a roar. I've missed you. Hello from California. I travel in 2 weeks. Want the flu to stay away. Let's talk about that, Dion. Tyler from Texas. Liz from Hollywood. Hello. Tim from Kentucky. Good evening, Kat. I've Kat Irio. Thank you for spelling that phonetically. Hey, Amber. Katie from Minnesota. Let's see here. Sorry, I just skipped a bunch. Forgive me. Amber, roar. April from San Diego. Hi, roar, Dion. Would you put your first name, please? I don't know how to say your name. Sue from Mississippi. Let me ask you, Sue, when you're in Mississippi, you'd play games as a kid, you'd have to count to 10. Did you do 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi? We totally did that in Ohio. I don't know if that's a thing in Mississippi or not. Elizabeth from Nashville. Roar from Blessed Be. Susie from New York. Dion. Thank you, Dion. Faye from South Carolina. From Scotland. Becca from Canada. Liz. After being contaminated by a person with a cold, what is the incubation period? It really depends. So let's get right down to that. I want to answer this. I've recently been exposed to a serious virus that I'm not going to say the name of. I think you know what I'm talking about. And I think viruses, generally speaking, including the flu, including the current virus people are afraid of, is here to stay because that's just the way things are on Earth. So what to do about it? Take care of yourself. Don't drink sugar or don't eat sugar. Don't stress yourself. Don't drink too much alcohol. Get good sleep. Get good exercise. Those are the foundations of good health. Good diet, good exercise, good sleep, good health practices. Starting off, that's the bare minimum you want to do from here on for the rest of your life if you want to live in good health. Number 2, some supplements can be helpful. And then number 3, there are some steps you can take to reduce the opportunity of viruses to replicate inside your body. Do I have it with me? I have it downstairs. And so in a little bit, I'll go downstairs and get the equipment that I was going to show you about how to reduce the risk of getting a virus. Blessed reveals your name is Faye. Thank you, Faye. I'm so used to using your TikTok handle, Faye. If you can say Faye, I'll eventually get that in my mind. Rodrigo from Brazil. Susie from New York. Sean, roar. Doctor says taking supplements 5 days a week will destroy your liver. Is it true? Sean, I would ask your doctor to provide scientific evidence for that. Seriously, that's a big claim. Doesn't matter what 5 supplements. What if the supplements are all B complex vitamins? What if the supplements are all cinnamon? What if they're big doses, large doses? I mean, and how many supplements? Like, could I take 1 supplement 5 days a week? Or is it, 2 or is it 10? That's such a big statement, right? That's like me saying, if you do this, this is going to happen to you without specifying what this is. If you eat food, you're going to die. Well, which food and how much and how long am I going to die? I'm sorry, I'm not coming up with a good analogy. Sean, ask your doctor for a peer-reviewed research to show that. If it's true, I want to know that because I take a ton of supplements. I take them 6 days a week. So I don't think that's true. I haven't seen any evidence of that, but ask them for evidence. Doctor, that's a great statement. Where's your evidence? Do you have peer-reviewed research? Do you have anything? I haven't seen that anywhere. If that's true, I damn well want to know because I take a ton of supplements. That's not going to happen. What's not going to happen? So what do you think of Life Extension? I don't know their products. Lower blood pressure. That's a good idea. Autoimmune disease. Yeah. So autoimmune disease is really interesting. It's where people's own bodies is basically attacking itself. And one thing to do is reduce gluten. Gluten confuses the immune system. Here's basically what happens. And I'm going to say this in a way that I hope you can share this with others because I've been successful in getting others to stop gluten sometimes. I'm not incredibly successful, but maybe a third of the time, people stop eating gluten when they understand what happens. Gluten is a protein in wheat. We do not have digestive enzymes to break it down. Gluten will then poke holes through the lining, single cell lining of your stomach. It'll poke a hole through it. What happens is this hole, then other things flow out of that hole. So in your stomach, something pokes a hole, and now other macronutrients, undigested food particles get into your bloodstream, right? So gluten punches the hole through the stomach lining. Now we get undigested protein, undigested fat, undigested carbohydrates into the bloodstream. This freaks out the immune system. Red alert, red alert. We got a bunch of large undigested food particles in the bloodstream. There's immune system in your gut. There's an immune system in your blood and even in your brain. And we refer all these as the immune system, but it's located in these three areas in particular. And so there's stuff in your blood that's wacky. Your immune system freaks out and it starts to attack. Now, if this happens constantly, if we're constantly poking holes in our digestive tract with gluten, we can get something called leaky gut, and which is basically chronic inflammation. The body gets inflamed from all these macronutrients getting into the blood, and the body attacking the blood and getting confused by undigested food particles in the blood. So if you have autoimmune disease or you don't want autoimmune disease, really, really good idea, and this is very much backed in science, to stop eating gluten. Gluten can harm the immune system by confusing it, by poking holes through the digestive tract. Gluten itself is inflammatory. Gluten is a lectin. A lectin is a plant defense. Dr. Stephen Gundry talks a lot about plant defenses. And gluten can create inflammation on its own. There's data that it's not good for the brain. I don't remember why exactly that is. Dr. David Perlmutter, in his book Grain Brain, talks a lot about that. There's also another book called Wheat Belly that talks a lot about the impact of gluten. So it's a really, really good idea to not eat wheat if you have autoimmune disease. And there's evidence that those who have autism, if they're on the spectrum, that these people benefit from going gluten-free and eating a really clean diet. And by the way, diet can even help with epilepsy. It's been known for, I think, over a century at this point. I think in the 1920s, they put epileptic children, they put them on a high-fat diet, basically getting them into ketosis. Here's the research, and you can watch this in the documentary. I think it's called Fat Number One. There's two documentaries called Fat. There's Fat Number One, Fat Number Two. I think it's Number One, where at the beginning they showed children with epilepsy. So these children with epilepsy go into ketosis. Here's what happens: 1/3 get better, like have a reduction in symptoms, a reduction in epileptic seizures. 1/3 get better completely, and then 1/3 it's no help. So 2/3 get serious benefit from being in ketosis. Now, just drinking the ketone bodies, like the liquid ketones, that's not as helpful for these children. They actually need to be in ketosis. So diet can make a huge difference on our health. It can help with epilepsy. It can help prevent autoimmune disease, or you can avoid autoimmune disease. And so if you know someone who has a child with autism, ask them if they've considered or looked at any data on changing diets, basically cleaning up the diet, removing processed foods, a lot of vegetables, right? So first, number one, a lot of vegetables, some fruits, and let's get them healthy sources of protein, whether that's from plants or animals. That can make a huge difference. Children with ADHD too, removing the colors, removing the artificial colors, that can make a difference as well. All right, we got some people on YouTube. Roar from Nebraska. Awesome. Roar to you, Victoria. And Chrissy Walker. Howdy from Texas. Well, howdy, Chrissy. I was in Texas a little while ago. All right. What are some other questions we got here? Oh, so let's talk about, so the topic today is how to prevent getting sick with supplements. So I have something for you downstairs. I'm sorry. Let me go get this. I'll be back in 30 seconds. Go get a drink of water. I'll be right back. Sorry about that. Hey, not that many people dropped off. Super cool. Okay, so this is a great trick. I've seen this. I've seen a couple doctors recommend this. You can do this with hydrogen peroxide. You can do this with iodine. So basically, when we're exposed to a virus and it's airborne, it can stay in our nose or in our nasal passages that's behind the face and be down our throat. And it can replicate there before we start getting symptoms. Makes sense. So we're breathing in through our nose. By the way, nose breathing, great way to reduce the risk of infection. Mouth breathing, we don't have a filter coming through the mouth. So you want to nose breathe. Also, nose breathing at night, really good idea. So your nose breathing, you get exposed to a virus, it stays in here, gets caught up in the hairs or in the mucus, and it can replicate in there, and it can go down the back of your throat, and it can replicate in the nasal passage. What to do about this? Iodine. So I got this on Amazon. This is 10% iodine. You want to dilute this. Dilute this so it's 5% iodine. So cut this half in water. So 1 part this, 1 part water. Sometimes you want to dilute it even more. You want a 20-to-1 solution of iodine to water. And so since this is 10%, cutting that in half would be 5%. 5% is 20-to-1 solution. So you want a 20-to-1 solution of 20% water, 20 water, 1 iodine. Next, take that mixture, fill up one of these dealies. This is a nose spray bottle. You can also get these in glass. I'm gonna squirt this here. I'm gonna try not to squirt myself. See that? So what you do is you put that up your nose, squirt that a couple times. I do about 4 squirts. You can probably get away with 2. Sorry, I'm getting the stuff gets in my eyes. And then what you want to do is breathe that in deeply. It gets through to the top of your nose and then back down your throat. You'll know when you've done enough when it gets to the back of your throat. That means it's basically sterilized the inside of your nostril and the nasal passage back down to the throat. And then you might want to hawk a loogie and spit and get rid of that. And then do the other nostril. Same deal. Squirt, squirt, squirt. Back down the throat. Spit in the trash. You can also spray this in your throat and gargle. You can also do this with hydrogen peroxide. Dilute that as well. Probably 2-to-1 or 4-to-1. So 2 parts water, 1 part hydrogen peroxide. You don't want it to burn. You can also use a Q-tip. If you don't want to snort it, you can just take a Q-tip with hydrogen peroxide and water, rub that around your nose after flying. Definitely, this is a great thing to do after flying on an airplane because that's recycled or recirculated air. And so that's a really good time to do that after flying. You can do it before flying, but if you're only gonna do it once, do it after flying for sure. You can do it at the end of the night, after going to a party, after socializing, if it's a holiday party. And a lot of people don't want to wear masks at holiday parties. I understand. I like seeing people's faces. I don't like wearing a mask. And so this is a great thing to do to just reduce infection, is to clean out your nose at the end of the night after socializing. If you're riding on public transportation, this might also be a good idea. You don't want to do this all the time. There is a microbiome throughout our body. So there's a microbiome in our mouth. There's a microbiome even in the throat. So as I swallow food, there's a microbiome between my mouth and my stomach. There's bacteria there. There's bacteria in my stomach. There's bacteria. Most of your gut bacteria is actually in the large intestine, in the colon. And so you don't want to disrupt the microbiome in your nose and in your throat by gargling antiseptics all the time and spraying your nose with antiseptics all the time. Not a bad idea during cold and flu season, but it's not something you want to do every day for the rest of your life. There could be, negative effects. I don't know exactly what those are. I don't know when those happen. Check with your medical doctor, but this is a really, really good idea to clean out your nose, certainly after known exposure, right? Someone calls you, hey, I'm sick. Oh, thank you for telling me. Spray the nose, get it down the back of the throat, gargle some hydrogen peroxide, good to go. I'm not saying that's all you need to do, but that's a good first step. Really great prevention. So right now I am I'm living with 2 sick people, and I'm doing my best to help them get better, giving them lots of supplements. I'm doing this twice a day. I'm doing this close to 2 p.m. and then before I go to bed. And so thus far, I'm pretty good. And I'm taking a ton of vitamin C. This is supplement number 2 or trick number 2, lots and lots and lots of vitamin C. Linus Pauling, who won the Nobel Prize for discovering vitamin C, he lived to be 93 years old, 93. And he took 6 grams of vitamin C every day, ascorbic acid. That is a ton of vitamin C. I don't even know what percentage that is. I think the 100% is like 50 milligrams. He's taking 6 grams. He's taking 6,000 milligrams. What's that? He's taking 100x the RDA, the recommended daily allowance. A pharmacist, a friend of mine, Ben Fuchs, Dr. Ben Fuchs, he said RDA, the recommended daily allowance, is the ridiculously deficient allowance. Like it's really low. Like that, the 50 milligrams of vitamin C is enough to not get scurvy, right? You not only do you not want to get scurvy, but you want to thrive. So you probably want more than 50 milligrams a day. The RDA needs to be updated for sure. And so high doses of vitamin C is very safe as long as you're drinking water and you don't do it for the rest of your life. So high doses of vitamin C can lead to, I think it's liver or excuse me, it's gallbladder stones or kidney stones. I think it's kidney stones. If you do it for a long period of time and don't drink enough water. So do this when exposed to illness, but don't do this every day. Here's the procedure with vitamin C. Take a teaspoon of vitamin C in a glass of water every hour until you get disaster pants. Let me repeat that. It's an odd suggestion. This is from a medical doctor who's an international emergency room doctor. She works in Eastern Europe and she worked in England. This is what she shared with me. She's actually a client of mine. I helped her study for her board certification. Take 1 teaspoon of vitamin C, ascorbic acid powder, in a glass of water every hour until disaster pants. You know what I'm talking about. This is when the saturation level occurs, and then scale back. Once you're saturated, that really invigorates the body. When I take a high dose of vitamin C, I feel it in my brain. It's enlivening. It's great. So that's one way you can reduce your chance of getting sick. Yesterday, I was feeling like my body was fighting off a virus. I felt tired. I felt logy. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm getting something. This is bad. And I snapped out of it and I grabbed a bunch of vitamin C. I grabbed some lemon juice. I made myself a lemon zinger. If you want the recipe for lemon zinger, I have a bunch of videos on it. It's basically lemon juice, half a teaspoon of vitamin C, magnesium and stevia with soda water. Excellent. I had a bunch of those. I took some aniracetam. By the way, a really good idea to take aniracetam or B complex vitamins. If you're feeling brain fog, a lot of people are experiencing long-term brain fog with certain viruses. And I believe aniracetam and other brain stimulating, brain nurturing, brain supporting supplements can help. And so I took aniracetam and a bunch of vitamin C yesterday. I felt like a champ. And I woke up and I was not sick. And I feel really good today. I'm going to get more good sleep tonight and hopefully wake up healthy tomorrow. So those are 2 really important supplements or procedures if you're just joining us. Diluted iodine in the nose, back of the throat, and high doses of vitamin C. Those are really good, safe procedures. Of course, check with your. So I'm a neuroscientist. I'm not a medical doctor. I'm not giving you medical advice. Check with a medical professional before doing anything that affects your health. This is what I'm doing. This is what works for me, and this is what's supported by the science. Okay, Victoria, any thoughts on saline nasal sprays? So saline is not necessarily antimicrobial, antibiotic, antiviral, antifungal, right? Saline's good. It's clean and it can be helpful. It's a great way to rinse your nose. It's not necessarily going to kill the bad bacteria in your nose. So you might want to alternate between saline and iodine or saline and hydrogen peroxide. But saline itself is not going to kill the bacteria like these other things. It'll help, but it's not the same. I'm going to skip to the bottom and see what the most recent comments are. Oregano, yes. Thank you, Princess. By the way, if you make a comment, please use your first name so that way I can respond to you directly rather than trying to read your handle. You're welcome, Victoria. So oregano. I used to use oregano for cavity prevention. I put a couple drops in water and then swish it. It hurts so bad. Who knows what I'm talking about? Who swished or used oil of oregano or brushed with it? And it burns the crap out of my mouth. It hurts so bad. And so oregano pills can be good, but I've definitely burped up oregano pills. It's been painful. Yeah, Victoria, you know what I'm talking about. Like oregano really hurts. And so, yes, it's antiviral and antifungal, and it totally works. And it is gosh darn painful. Oh, so Revita Pisces 8. It's not 20% iodine, it's 20-1. So it's 1 part iodine, 20 parts water. This is a 10% solution. So you want this at 5%. So cut this in half. This was like 10 or 20 bucks from Amazon Basics. You can guess where I got that from. And just cutting this in half it makes it good. You can tell if it's too strong, if it burns. It doesn't burn too bad. It's not horribly painful. I mean, if you've tested for a virus in your nose, you've done uncomfortable things in your nose. This is not nearly as uncomfortable, in my opinion. Plus, this is preventative. So cut this in half minimum. It should not burn. Zinc and D3. Annabella, very good point. Those are definitely on the list. Zinc and D3. High doses of zinc. Two of my favorite brands for zinc is Garden of Life, and I take a double dose of their zinc. I take it first thing in the morning, and then I'll take it in the evening or during the day. Zinc you want to absorb generally on an empty stomach unless it upsets your stomach. I've done the zinc liquids by Trace Minerals. I like this company, by the way. Anything you want to get from them, it's worth a try. I took their zinc first thing in the morning, and I threw up for the first like 3 mornings I did it. And finally I realized, why am I getting sick in the morning? And I was like, oh, maybe it's this new thing I added. Like, seriously, I was sick to my stomach 3 mornings in a row. And I finally thought, oh, maybe this isn't good. And so, it took me a little while to figure this out. So liquid zinc, I found that really uncomfortable. The pill zinc from Garden of Life, I found works really well with me on an empty stomach. If it doesn't work for you, take it with food. And D3, according to research, approximately 40% of white Americans and 70% of Black Americans are deficient in vitamin D. That's a lot. So half or more of Americans are deficient in vitamin D, especially in the winter. Why? Because we spend so much time inside. And so it's a really good idea to supplement vitamin D. Dr. Stephen Gundry recommends 5,000 to 10,000 IU a day, international units. The RDA, the ridiculously deficient amount, or the recommended daily amount, whichever you prefer, the RDA is much, much lower. And doctors have been screaming about this, certainly since the pandemic, because they're saying, look, we're vitamin D deficient. We need to be telling people to take vitamin D. People are inside. It's cold and flu season, and people are deficient in vitamin D, and the RDA is way too low. And so, according to research from San Diego State, 10,000 IU of vitamin D a day is safe for most adults. Check with your medical doctor first. So that's what I'm taking. I'm taking big doses of vitamin D, certainly the week that I'm exposed. I'm not taking any chances. And Dr. Stephen Gundry said he's been taking high doses of vitamin D for years. He's been experimenting on himself. By the way, who's a self-experimenter? Who are my self-experimenters? Who's trying crazy stuff on yourself? Please be safe. But it's important to test stuff on yourself. Magnesium might help you fall asleep. It might wake you up. They're my self-experimenters. Awesome. Big roar to you. This might feel good in your nose. This might burn your nose. You need to try what's good for you. Find out. Yes, Mary Bertha. And so it's important to try these things out. Right. So high doses of vitamin D and zinc. Absolutely. All right. Let me scroll through the questions here. Let me see what we got here. If you're just arriving, give me your first name, where you're from, and give me a roar if you're an evolving line. If you learned something that's valuable, give me a roar. And if you have a question, write that in there with your first name, please. I want to address as many questions as I can. Zeolite. I haven't taken zeolite. D3 with K2 is optimal. It's not required. Colloidal silver. I used to put that in my hot tub. That was great. It's a nice natural antiviral, antifungal. Do I have that up here? No, I don't. Another great antiviral, antifungal that is super duper safe. 2 of them, I'm going to give you 2, are cinnamon and curcumin, specifically Ceylon cinnamon, CEYLON, and curcumin. Both of these are herbs. They are anti-inflammatory, antioxidants. So that's just good for the immune system in general, good for your health in general, also great for your brain. Ceylon cinnamon improves memory in healthy adults, and I believe so does curcumin. Both of them help. Curcumin helps prevent the accumulation of amyloid plaque in the brain. Hopefully you're taking curcumin already. I talk about curcumin in a lot of my videos on healthy supplements for the brain. These 2 supplements help kill viruses and bacteria. Curcumin and Ceylon cinnamon. Great time to take them. If you've been exposed, jack it up. Take double. Take it with some fat to increase absorption. Make sure your curcumin supplement has some black pepper or biopiperine. That'll increase absorption. Black pepper increases absorption of curcumin by 300% to 3,000%, depending on the research. And I've seen both of those numbers in research. It's crazy to me. I got so aggravated once. There was what looked like a good study. It says, does curcumin help treat Alzheimer's disease? I thought, ooh, really great paper. And I read it. It said no difference. I thought, that's interesting. I would have thought there would have been a difference. And so I read the paper and they didn't use black pepper. I said, this is probably $1 million study. It's a 6-month study on, I don't know, 50 old people, half of them with Alzheimer's disease, or all of them with Alzheimer's disease. And you didn't add black pepper to the curcumin. I was outraged. It was just a waste of time. It was a waste of money. It was a waste of helping these people. Like 25 of these people could have been helped. I was just outraged. I thought, listen, these researchers, they need to know how to increase the absorption of curcumin. Taking curcumin without fat and without black pepper is not going to help. Your body is not going to absorb that. This is, David Sinclair talks about resveratrol. He says, if you take resveratrol with water, it's like brick dust. Your body doesn't absorb it. You need to take it with food. You need to take it with fat. Same thing with curcumin. Take it with fat and make sure there's black pepper in your supplement. I was so mad. And then even worse, than these 25 people who could have been helped for 6 months of taking curcumin with black pepper. Now this research is out there that says curcumin isn't helpful for Alzheimer's disease. Well, that's not true. There's so much data that curcumin is helpful for Alzheimer's disease. We got research in rats. We got research in mice. We got research in humans. We got research in healthy adults. We got research in obese mice. We got research out our ears on the benefits of curcumin. And this paper just annoys the crap out of me. I wish I'd saved it. I don't know where it is. I've looked for it. I can't find it anymore, but research like this exists. And so make sure you're taking your curcumin with black pepper. All right, let's go to some questions here. Let's scroll to the bottom here. Ceylon cinnamon, Ceylon. Wicked Woman, I'm so sorry. I recently changed systems. Would you send me an email at robertwblove@gmail.com and I will respond to you. I'm sorry. I've been calling people that we had appointments scheduled for. I'm so very, very sorry. So Wicked Woman, if you put your first name or send me an email, I will get right to it. We're rescheduling people this week. I'm very sorry, sincerely. Salon, it's spelled Ceylon. Be happy is totally the best vitamin. Yeah, happiness. And by the way, another great thing you can do to improve your immune system and reduce the risk of Alzheimer's disease is hugs. Seriously, long hugs. If you do, first of all, a 30-second hug with someone you love and trust increases oxytocin. So just hold someone and basically take 3 breaths together. That will increase oxytocin. You'll feel that. You'll feel this like relaxation in your body. I feel it in my shoulders. It's terrific. Do that with 8 people a day. Totally boosts your immune system. Amazing. Another thing you want to avoid this is loneliness. Loneliness. Who was this? Dr. Daniel Goleman, who wrote Emotional Intelligence and Social Intelligence, great reporter of scientific information. He wrote that, or he discussed a study where loneliness was the #1 risk factor for getting sick. So they have people in this study, and they got smokers, they got drinkers. They're all exposed to viruses. And then you got people who are alone. People who are lonely were even worse than smokers. And so if your only friends are smokers, it's better to keep your friends and smoke than to stop smoking and have nobody. Now, I recommend not smoking. Please stop smoking. If you don't have any friends, just say you don't have any friends, and we'll make friends here. Seriously, but this is a very supportive live stream of wonderful people around the world. And but please do not be lonely. Find some people here in the virtual space. Find some people in the physical world. Get to know your neighbors. Being lonely is really dangerous for your health. Roar, tanning beds help with vitamin D. I don't have good data on that. My guess is yes, but tanning beds have their own problems. So tanning beds are definitely a trade-off. Astaxanthin is good for the eyes. Diva Golf. Yes, curcumin helps. Vitamin B, niacin flush. Yes, that can be a little painful for some people. Niacin flush feels a little, it's itchy. And what I took a supplement that had a ton of niacin in it. I didn't know it. It was like a multivitamin. It was a multi-B vitamin, basically for eye health. And I didn't know how big the dose was. And then I took it with all of my supplements. It was a new supplement. I took it with all of them. And then 20 minutes later, this is actually during the Joe Biden inauguration. Who remembers the Joe Biden inauguration? Was that 2 years ago? And I remember the amazing poem by Amanda. oh, what's her name? She was amazing. And I'm sitting there and I'm trying to enjoy this poetry, and my skin is so red and itchy. And I think, what the hell did I just do? What did I take? What am I allergic to? After taking a couple more times, I realized it was too much niacin. So too much niacin, though large doses can be helpful, it can definitely be scary if you don't know what a niacin flush is and don't know what caused it, and it can be really annoying and unpleasant. Go Bengals! Bengals won this week. Hooray! Okay, what milligram for aniracetam? I took 1,500 milligrams yesterday and today. Felt great. I've had brain fog. This is from Bumble. Please put your first name if you make a comment, and then I can use your first name. So from Bumble 100, I've had brain fog. I'm scared. I don't know if it's menopause or long haul virus. Please help. I don't know either. If you're concerned about menopause, schedule a session with Dr. Shannon. I think there's a link beneath my profile. I think it's still there. So if you click the link below my profile, go to the Dr. Shannon button and schedule with her team. You can schedule a free consult, and then she can help you get scheduled for a hormone test and see what's going on. And then there's another free resource. By the way, if you have brain fog from virus, if you have long haul virus, I want to help. I have a free resource for you. If you know someone who has brain fog from long haul virus, here's what to do. Below my profile on TikTok. So if you're on YouTube, go to my TikTok handle. It's Robert WB Love. Below my profile picture is a link. It's a link tree. And then scroll to the bottom. There's a free masterclass on long haul virus with Dr. Linnell King. He is a medical doctor from Johns Hopkins. He is a 5-part masterclass on getting back to 100% after long haul virus. Check that out. You can register for free. Tons of free information. By the way, while you're underneath my profile is a bunch of free resources for you. Number one, if you want supplements, I got my free report, my top 10 supplements, why I take them, brands I take, and where I buy them. I give you all that on my top 10 brain supplements. That's below my profile, and you can download that for free. Just enter your name and your email, and then I'll email you a copy, and you have my permission to share that. Please share that. I wrote that information to get that out to as many people as possible. So download that for free, share it, send it to your friends and family, do whatever, but get that information out there. That's a really valuable free resource. I have a free masterclass on how to prevent Alzheimer's disease. That's below my profile. Same deal. Click on that, register for that. Who's seen the masterclass, How to Prevent Alzheimer's Disease? Let me know how many of you seen that, what you thought of it. What else is below there? If you're interested in sustainable weight loss, I don't know if Chad has any spots left. Chad Tackett is one of the world's leading experts in weight loss. And he's helped people lose weight and keep it off. And that's a great way to boost your immune system, reduce the risk of type 2 diabetes, and therefore reduce the risk of Alzheimer's disease. If you want a free session with one of his weight loss coaches and you're committed to losing weight and you want to create a roadmap for your own weight loss success, that's below my profile. That's a free weight loss roadmap with Chad Tackett. His spots fill up fast. I don't know if he has any left. I haven't asked him this week. He reserved 16 spots for us last week, and we filled up with that pretty quickly. So those are three free resources. Dr. Shannon, if you're a woman and you want your hormones tested. Chad Tackett, if you want sustainable weight loss. Dr. Linnell King, if you have long haul virus. There's my supplement guide, and then there's my masterclass on how to prevent Alzheimer's disease. Oh, and then would you please help me with this? Just 5 minutes of your time. It says, also, let me look at what it says. I think it says Alzheimer's research study. There's a really quick survey that I'm doing to look at the risk factors for Alzheimer's disease. And I'd love your help on this. It'll just take a minute, but not a minute. It's actually like 5 minutes. Okay, Linktree, can I log in, please? Thank you. So the link is called, the Chad Tackett Weight Loss Roadmap is at the very top. Next is my free report, my supplements. Next is my free masterclass. The Huperzine A study, that's closed right now. I'm going to take that off. I'm going to delete that. The 5-minute research study, please go to that. Seriously, can you just take 5 minutes and go to the free research study? That'll be super helpful. And just to answer a couple questions, I want to see what are some of the risk factors that put us at risk for Alzheimer's disease. And then once I get that data, I'm going to analyze it, see if there's any statistically significant findings, and then I will share it with you. And then if the data is good enough, I will publish it. You are welcome, Canada, for the free education. My pleasure. My name is Kat. A friend has MS. Are there good supplements for that? This is really Dr. Shannon's wheelhouse. She has helped people manage MS. I'm not an expert in MS. She is. So go to Dr. Shannon's link, schedule something, or schedule something for your friend. And then call your friend and say, hey, Dr. Shannon has literally made a difference in people's lives with MS. Most people with MS, I have an aunt who has MS. I'm getting her scheduled with Dr. Shannon. Most people with MS think there's nothing to be done. That's not true. Please go schedule something with Dr. Shannon. She can be very helpful with MS. April from Vermont, thank you for using your first name. Oxaloacetate, what are your thoughts? I don't know about that. I don't know what that is. Jim, thoughts on patisterbaline? Yeah, I take it in the morning. It's a longevity supplement. I totally take it. It's great. I don't know how to pronounce it. Pterostilbene. Processed carbs. Yes, Mission Greener. Processed carbs are no bueno. Those are definitely immune suppressant things. This really bothered me during the pandemic. I'm at Whole Foods and I'm trying to buy healthy food. And then, they have the stickers on the ground that says you have to be 6 feet away. So we're here. And so I'm far away from these other humans because we're all afraid of getting sick. Meanwhile, at checkout, what is that checkout? Sugar. What do we know suppresses the immune system? Sugar, undoubtedly, unless you're in the sugar industry, in which case you pay researchers to find a bunch of bogus results that says that sugar is actually not the culprit. It definitely is. It's a culprit. And so Whole Foods is peddling sugar at checkout when people are dying of a disease that's based in the immune system. So they're contributing to the disease. I was so upset. I called someone over. It's like, look, I'm enraged. I can't stand 6 feet. I have to stand 6 feet away from this other human, and you're trying to sell me sugar as I check out. Are you insane? I was so mad. And it's just really inappropriate. And so please cut your sugar. If you're concerned about your immune system, reduce the amount of alcohol, reduce refined sugar, and improve your sleep. Please, please, please. That is it's going to be good for the rest of your life. Better than I think that's probably more powerful than any supplement is doing those three things. Doing those three things for sure is going to beat any supplement by far. Doing one of them might beat any supplement. I think they're great. Andrew, thoughts on NAC and Shilajit? Those are great for the brain. NAC is N-acetylcysteine, and N-acetylcysteine is basically, it helps make more glutathione. Glutathione's great. Glutathione helps detox heavy metals. Glutathione is your body's master antioxidant. Glutathione is wonderful. I haven't taken NAC myself. I've taken more selenium, which is a precursor to glutathione. People who take NAC seem to really like it. I would do well to try it. I have not tried Shilajit. Shilajit, there are reports that is great for the brain and overall health as well. I think it's basically anti-inflammatory. And does it increase fulvic acid? I think it does. And so there's not a whole lot of research on Shilajit long-term for Alzheimer's disease and other chronic diseases. I think it's helpful. I don't know about immune system and NAC and Shilajit. They're probably helpful. Generally speaking, things that improve your energy, things that are anti-inflammatory, these are good for your immune system, generally speaking. And then you got things like Ceylon cinnamon and curcumin that are antiviral, antifungal, and anti-inflammatory. Those really help the immune system. Does that make sense? So these are the things you're looking for in immune boosting supplements. You're welcome. Momeasure 368. I'm glad to provide the resources. Okay, we just skipped a bunch. I'm sorry. Priscilla, can you talk about candida overgrowth? I'm not an expert in candida. My understanding is candida is caused by basically having a diet that's rich in tasty food like sugar and bread and coffee and alcohol. And so there's a lot of information on candida. I don't have it. I think it's serious. I think it can cause fatigue. I don't think it's good. And so I recommend clean up your diet, and you can clean up your diet and still really enjoy your food. A diet low in carbs, but rich in vegetables, some protein, some fruit, dark chocolate. This is my favorite dark chocolate right here. Q dark chocolate. It's terrific. This bar, I opened it a couple days ago. So good. Let me just smell this. By the way, fun research. Did you know just smelling chocolate reduces appetite? It's that strong. Seriously, if you smell chocolate and wait 5 minutes, your appetite will decrease. Just don't eat it. But eat chocolate. It's so good. Chocolate's great for your immune system. It's terrific for your immune system. There's a multiple mechanisms. I don't remember how to describe all of them. Chocolate's great for the immune system, great for the brain. It increases both neurogenesis and angiogenesis. Angiogenesis is the growth of new blood vessels. Neurogenesis is the growth of new brain cells, new neural connections. Chocolate does both. You want dark chocolate. Do not get milk chocolate. Get dark chocolate, unless it's vegan milk chocolate, which would be made with probably coconut powder or coconut milk powder. The darker the better, but you want to make sure you like it. Don't get 80% dark if you hate it. That defeats the point. Much better to get 50% and like it. And then you want fair trade and organic. Fair trade's more important. That way it makes sure that it's ethically grown and it's not made by children in Africa. If it doesn't say fair trade, it could very well be slave chocolate. And I know you don't want to support that. So look for the fair trade. If you're interested in slave chocolate and want to learn more about it, go on YouTube, search slave chocolate, and you'll see these documentaries of these very brave people that went to these plantations where children are basically lured and captured and tricked into coming there, and they're kept there to do work and are not paid. An unpaid child working in your plantation is a slave. And these documentary people got really close with the cameras and really risking their lives to bring us this information. And then a lot of large companies in the United States have been buying chocolate from them. That's not cool. None of us want that. If you were to survey the United States, the vast, vast, vast majority of Americans would not be okay with that under any circumstances. And yet we allow large companies to do that. The Senate knew about it. The Senate had a bill to stop it. And the chocolate companies lobbied and said, please don't do that. And they didn't. That was 20 years ago. This was in 2000. So please buy fair trade chocolate. Cassandra, what does glutathione do again? Glutathione is your body's master antioxidant. And so it does antioxidant things around your body. It can also detox heavy metals. When I cut out refined carbs, I was amazed how fast my body healed within 2 months. There you go. Kathy. So for the person with Candida, there you go, 2 months. Now, 2 months may seem like a long time, but 2 months is really a blink of an eye in your lifetime. And, or maybe it's a couple minutes in your lifetime, but gosh darn it, it's worth it. Progesterone. If you have questions about hormones, I really want to defer to Dr. Shannon. I'll have her on again soon. Who liked Dr. Shannon being on? Who had fun with Dr. Shannon? If you liked her, let me know. I thought she was great. She's lots of fun, and she's just filled with knowledge. It's a guest where I can do very little talking because she's really got the goods. Oh, Priscilla. So you were the one with Candida. So Priscilla, there you go. Cutting out gluten. Big darn deal. And then if you missed the first part of this, check out the replay on YouTube. I talk about why gluten's so bad and creates can contribute to autoimmune disease. How long does being alone affect physical health? How does being alone affect physical health? Great. Well, let's answer that question. Milk thistle is great, by the way, Kat. I highly recommend milk thistle, especially if you have trouble with your liver. So who wants to guess why is being alone, why is being lonely so bad for your health? Let's take a poll here. Let's see some thoughts. You're welcome. So please put in the chat. Low immunity. Yes. Why? Zero stimulation, zero love. Very good. It promotes depression. Yeah, don't you think? I'm alone. No one's answering my question. No one's picking up my phone. I don't see any other humans. By the way, this is why cats and dogs are so good for the immune system and good for aging, because you have company, right? A lot of single people who are older have animals. Really good idea. Okay, here I'm going to read your answers. These are great. So low stimulation promotes depression. Loneliness definitely increases risk of depression. Absolutely. Cortisol, yeah, increase. We are social creatures. We are social animals. Humans are animals. We are slightly evolved apes, right? Apes are social. Well, it depends on which ape, but monkeys are social creatures. Chimps, bonobos, these are social creatures. They got troops, right? Monkeys, they're called, I think it's chimps. They're called troops. They're groups of chimps, right? If we're not with our troop, if we're not with our tribe, if we're not with other people, we get stressed out because that's very, very, imagine how difficult it was to survive before civilization alone. Like you're human out in the woods with a stick and a loincloth. How are you going to survive? You got to find water. You got to find food. You got to get not killed by animals and other neighboring tribes. You got to build shelter. You got to build a fire. You got to keep a fire, right? It's very difficult to build and maintain a fire on your own. And so, yeah, being alone really spikes cortisol. Lack of oxytocin, totally. Need oxytocin for hugs. Yes. Alone does not mean lonely. Great, Cindy. So we'll say lonely. So we'll say, so it's great to be alone sometimes if it's by choice. Lonely is in, and what is lonely? Great point. I'm going to have trouble defining it because this is striking me as philosophical, but I think you know what I mean. Someone who's alone and doesn't want to be alone and feels lonely. Someone who's like, if someone's alone on a beach and they're reading a book and they think this is so peaceful, that person's not lonely. We're thinking, or what we're talking about is someone who's lonely and is not happy with it. Could you give a documentary to watch tomorrow? Yes, I'll give you a couple. Here's some great documentaries. What's the recent one I watched? Farmageddon. Farm, like to farm a field, and then Ageddon, like Armageddon, but Farmageddon. That one's about our food supply. Another one is Fat, the documentary, and then there's Fat 2, the documentary. There's Fat Fiction, another documentary. There's Forks Over Knives. I think that one's on Netflix. And so I'm giving you some documentaries that both support eating animal protein and some that support a plant-based, basically vegan diet. I want you to see both and choose which one's right for you. I think both can be healthy. It depends upon the person. Plant-based vegan diets can be very, very healthy for people, and some people find them very difficult. And some people do well with high fat, high vegetable, very low carb diets. I want you to watch documentaries on both and get the information. So I would recommend those. Did you get that, Alicia? Fat 2, Fat Fiction, Forks Over Knives, and then Farmageddon. All those are food related. Yes, Ivy, lack of serotonin, zero touch. Yeah, we need touch. Lonely feelings can bring on bad choices, depression to these. So these are all great reasons why being lonely is very dangerous, right? Lack of human contact. We're social animals. If we don't have that, our stress goes up. We know high stress increases the risk of disease. And then some doctors believe that stress is the root cause of most chronic disease. That's amazing. So your number one risk factor for chronic disease, stress, goes up when you're lonely, right? So that's alone, not by choice, and it's stressful on your system. That would be lonely. Number 2, life's less enjoyable, right? We are social creatures. Even the hermits that like to be alone, they still like even who wrote Walden Pond? Thoreau. When Thoreau was writing Walden Pond, and he talked about being alone in a cabin all winter, he was still only a mile or two from his nearest neighbor, and he would walk there for dinner often. He was not alone. He was alone by choice, but he was not lonely. And so we really want to have the ability to contact other humans. That's both reassuring and it's really enjoyable. And then all the negative things that happen from increased stress and then increased depression, right? So being lonely has this huge rippling effect of all these negative risk factors that get piled on. So a great thing to do this cold and flu season is to reaffirm your great relationships. This means get in touch with your family and your friends. Let's do this. I would like to give you a homework assignment. Who's down to play with a homework assignment? That'll be great fun and increase your health, boost your immune system, hopefully increase your happiness. Who's down to play? Who wants to have fun? All right, me, empowered dad, outstanding. Susie Q, outstanding. Tori Dickinson, Derry Gardner, outstanding. All right, here's how to play. Tomorrow, call one person you haven't spoken to in the last 2 weeks, friend or family member, and tell them you love them and care about them and you hope they're doing well. That's it. You can have a conversation after that. Just get in touch with one person you haven't talked to in 2 weeks. This will feel really good for you, for them, and it will decrease loneliness in both of you. Not to say that either one of you is lonely, but just strengthening one social relationship, one social bond will feel really good. And it teaches you, and it models for them, it teaches you that you can do this anytime you want to. You can strengthen your social ties, your ties in your community, your relationships. How? Just call someone, tell them you love them, and then ask it. I mean, you can even ask if you can help them. If you know what business they're in and you're familiar with that business, you can ask them how business is and if you can help. You know, you can do things like that. If you're in their neighborhood, you can say, "Hey, let me know if you need a babysitter this next week. I'll come over." Whatever it is, you can offer support if you want to. You don't need to, but just saying, "Hi, how are you? I was thinking about you. I love you. I care about you, and I hope you're well. I hope you had a good Thanksgiving. I hope you have a wonderful holiday season." And that's it. Have a great week. That's it. Could be a 5-minute conversation, could be 20. I know we did something like this a couple weeks ago, and people are saying how they talked to their mother for an hour, which is awesome. And I know it was about a month ago we did this. It might have been 2 weeks. The goal was to call 10 people. I just want you to call one person. You call as many people as you like, but the goal is one. Who's in? Who's in to call one person that you haven't talked to in 2 weeks and say, "I'm in." Just to say, "Hi, how are you? I haven't talked with you. Want to check in. How are you doing? I miss you. I love you." You don't need to say I miss you. You can say, "I love you. I care about you. Hope you're doing well." Who's in to play? Lucky Crystal's in. Susie Q's in. Cindy Gonzalez. Cindy Gonzalez into vitamin C powder. Tori Dickinson's in. Sundays. I love just to listen to you. Well, thank you, Sundays, but I hope you join the challenge. Ashley is in. Outstanding. Amber's in. Cindy Gonzalez did that earlier. Excellent. Ocean Favor's in. For You to Store's in. Cat's in. Lovelander, people do call. That's so not true. People definitely call. I definitely call people. And that means so much more than text. You can text all you want, but one phone call. Make one phone call. And then if they don't answer, leave a message. That message will feel so good to leave. "Hi, I was just thinking about you. I just wanted to see how you are. I hope you had a great Thanksgiving. I love you. And I hope you're doing well." That's it. What was that? 10 seconds? 20 to dial and get voicemail another 10. So 30 seconds. Lovelander, you can do it. People, you might not experience people calling. People definitely call. I have phone calls regularly and they're great. They're way better than texting. Even better, Zoom. I mean, schedule a Zoom call with someone. Even better. All right. Krista's in. Sundays is in. Susie Q's in. Roar. Fantastic. All right. I'll check back in with you tomorrow. I'm going to do it too. I'm going to call someone I haven't spoken to in 2 weeks and let them know I love them. All right. Which MCT oil do I use? I use Nature's. I put it in a bunch of my videos. If you search MCT in my videos, you'll see it. Sir Don's in. Jesse, I don't know about mustard oil. I need to call my grandma. Great idea. Totally great idea. So Power Dad, I definitely have videos where I show which MCT oil. Look at my most recent video, how I make my coffee. I totally show it in that one. I don't have it in front of me and I don't remember the name. I think it's Nature's something. Thoughts on methylfolate? Yeah, there's a certain type of B complex you want that's like that's methylated B, because people with MF, people with a certain genetic makeup, which is about half of us, have trouble digesting another type of vitamin B. I don't know what it is off the top of my head. But yeah, if you get a good vitamin B supplement, it should have that. Just ordered mine. Excellent Sundays. Details on Noopept. So I've taken Noopept. Noopept's a nootropic. Any other questions about supplements and the immune system? That was the topic for today. I really want to be helpful for that. And then I'm going to sign off early today. I still have some work that I want to do, and it's 10. I know this is work and play. I have some other work I want to do before midnight, and I want to get good sleep tonight. So I'm going to answer Noopept. So by the way, my favorite nootropic store is nootropicsdepot.com. That's NOOTROPICS, nootropicsdepot.com. I've been buying nootropics from them for over 5 years. I think they have high quality stuff. Message them, ask them where their aniracetam is. I've been bothering them for months about it. They haven't started selling it again. I wish they would. Basically, Noopept, I've taken it. I didn't notice a difference, and so I stopped taking it. Generally, nootropics you feel right away, right? Aniracetam, most people feel it right away. Huperzine, people feel it right away. Phenylpyrastam, people feel it right away. L-tyrosine, right? Immediately. Caffeine, nicotine, these nootropics, people feel right away. I didn't notice anything with Noopept. I took it several times. And I've heard other people say if you take it regularly, it enhances your system, your senses. So eyesight, hearing, taste, touch, smell, it enhances all these things. I haven't experienced that myself. And so I don't know about Noopept. It may vary from person to person. And if you like it, great. I've also heard that the impact of Noopept is it'll go away when you stop taking it. This is true for a lot of things. So true for lion's mane. So a lot of people who have a better memory on lion's mane, if they stop taking it, sometimes it goes back. And so, and I'm sure there's things you can do to help maintain it, like exercise. Exercise has a similar benefit as lion's mane. Like learning, if you're exercising and learning, that'll strengthen your brain. And so, if you stop taking lion's mane, but you're still exercising, still learning, that should maintain the benefits. All right. So, questions about immune supplements. Supplements to increase testosterone, exercise and sleep. I've been exercising daily with a kettlebell and sleeping really well, and I have just a ton of testosterone. I can just feel it in my body. So that's the absolute best. Alexis Larson, how to reduce cortisol. All right, so first we're going to practice this. This is more powerful than any other supplement. I learned this from Dr. Andrew Huberman. It is a double inhale. It's a double inhale, slow exhale. It's called. He calls it the physiological sigh. Breathing is the best way to regulate your system, regulate your emotions, reduce cortisol, reduce stress. Here's how we do it. So we're going to do double inhale through the nose. So it's going to look like this. And then exhale through the mouth slowly. Basically, you want to exhale twice as long as you inhale. So let's all do this together. And if who's skeptical, if you're skeptical, definitely do this because your skepticism will be eliminated when you do it because it is so very, very powerful. We're going to do 3 sets. You basically want to inhale 80% of the way and pause. So pause and then fill up and then exhale. Okay, who's ready? All right, let's go. We're going to do it 3 times. Inhale through the nose, exhale through the mouth. So here we go. 3, 2, 1. Inhale, pause, inhale the rest, and exhale. Once more, inhale, pause, inhale, and exhale. Really felt that one. Once more, inhale, pause, inhale, and exhale with a sigh. All right. How do you feel? Post it in the chat. And any skeptics do that. How do you feel? Helping a lot. Wonderful. What exactly does that do? Andrew Huberman explains it in great detail. It basically fully inflates our lungs. I don't know why exactly it relaxes us to the way it does. Power Dad feels relaxed. It's called the physiological sigh. Much better, Alexis. Feel lightheaded. That's interesting. Are you breathing deep down into your diaphragm? If you're breathing into your chest and your head, I can understand that. Michelle, no change? Did you breathe deeply? Try it again. Feel tired. Interesting. Feel great. Wonderful. That felt great. Much better. Always down for any type of breath intention. Fantastic. You are welcome, Leroy. Helps a lot. Calms the nervous system. Thank you very deeply. Well, I would practice that again, Michelle. So once again, you want to breathe in 80%, pause, and then fill your lungs all the way. And then exhale slowly, twice as slow as you inhaled. So let's say inhale for 4, exhale for 8. So Michelle, if you exhale slower than you inhale, so 2 for 1. So inhale for a count of 4, exhale for a count of 8. Just try that. That alone should make a big difference. Amy Cuddy, who wrote the book Presence, she also had a great TED Talk. She's a Harvard professor. Amy Cuddy, she does a TED Talk on power poses, on body language. She talks about in her book the power of inhale, double exhale, as in like exhaling twice as slow. It makes a huge difference. Try that, Michelle. See how that works. Inhale, double exhale, or inhale, slow exhale should make a total difference. You're welcome, Catherine. You're welcome, Kathy. Eye supplements. I don't really recommend eye supplements because I haven't seen a ton of data on them. So carrots are good. Bright orange colors are good, like in yams and sweet potatoes. Astaxanthin and zeaxanthin, I believe, are really good for the eyes. Okay. Wim Hof is great. Totally. I haven't taken Tongat Ali for testosterone. So Dr. Andrew Huberman talks about that. I haven't taken it myself. Can I add a Q&A to my bio? That's interesting. Let me think about that for a moment. So the comment section below videos is basically a big Q&A, right? So if you have questions, people just add it there. It'd be cool to have a place for people to comment and then star or check mark next to comments. That way we know what people are really interested in. Good evening, Shade. Can you take lion's mane and melatonin at the same time? Yes, at night. Do not take melatonin during the day. I've made that mistake and it ruined my day. I was just tired all day. And it was totally a mistake. It was not good. I remember that day. It was just miserable. I mean, it wasn't painful. I was just really fatigued all day, and I wasn't going to sleep. It was in the middle of the day. Hi, Bake Me Up. Okay, Dylan, opinion on vitamin C serum on face and beef tallow. That's more of a cosmetic skin thing, and that is not my wheelhouse as of right now. I'm much more about kind of brain and overall health, much less so on skin. And some things you can do for your skin are sleep and hydrate. People have been commenting, they say, "Oh, your skin looks so good." What I'm doing, I'm eating a clean diet and drinking a lot of water. I'm not drinking alcohol. I'm not smoking cigarettes. I'm keeping my intake very clean and a lot of water, and that makes a huge difference. Speaking of which, I'm gonna have a little water right now. All right. Yes, inhale into your diaphragm, not your chest. Anything to help with with ALS. Dr. Stephen Gundry talks about changing diet for ALS. That's an amazing claim to me. ALS is such a serious disease, and I don't understand it. I don't know what exactly is happening, and so I don't know. He claims that cleaning up your diet and removing lectins can help with ALS. If you have ALS or someone you know and love has ALS, it's probably worth really cleaning up your diet and trying to follow Dr. Stephen Gundry's protocol. See if that helps. Yes, Wacky Jackie. All right, so get your pens out. We're going to go through the supplements for the immune system one more time, and then we're going to close out here. I'm going to ask you what you learned, and then I will see you here tomorrow. So the first one, this is the most unusual one. I talked about this in detail. By the way, if you want to watch the replay is on YouTube. They'll be there as soon as we end. This, if you're exposed to someone who's sick, a virus, a bacteria, something communicated by the air, if you fly in a plane, if you're on public transportation, if you go to a big party, and you don't want to get sick, after the party, after flying, after the event, dilute iodine. You want a 20-to-1 solution. So this is 10%. So cut this in half, or cut hydrogen peroxide, reduce that by half, put it into a bottle like this. This is a nose spray thing. Careful, I'm going to spray this. Watch out. So you spray this in your nose, and then you snort it. Cleans out the viruses and bacteria in your nostrils and in your nasal cavity. Snort it so it goes down the back of your throat, and then hock a loogie, spit that up. You can also gargle with this. You can gargle with hydrogen peroxide and water, or gargle with iodine and water. Some of the viruses and bacteria stay in your throat and in your nose and replicate. And so clean out your nose and the back of your throat after exposure. That's huge. Huge. Don't do it every day for the rest of your life. You have a microbiome in your nose and in your throat, and you don't want to constantly flush that with antiviral, antibiotic things. You want to let a healthy microbiome grow in those areas. And after exposure, really, really good idea. Next, high doses of vitamin C. Linus Pauling took 6 grams a day. An emergency medical room, an ER doctor who's worked internationally, she shared with me, take a teaspoon of vitamin C powder every hour until disaster pants, and then I'm saturated, and then slow down from there. but really you want to drink as much vitamin C, consume as much vitamin C as you can, and saturate your body. The RDA, the recommended daily allowance, is way too low, especially during cold and flu season. So get lots of vitamin C. Zinc is huge. I like Garden of Life zinc. It's a great product. It's high quality. I take double the dose on the bottle. Check with your medical doctor for what's right for you, but I take that on an empty stomach in the morning and at night. You can also take it with food. And then quercetin. Quercetin helps reduce inflammation in the lungs. I take quercetin for longevity also. So quercetin is great. Garlic's amazing. Garlic supplements. 1,000 milligrams of garlic reduces the risk of getting sick. And those who do get sick, if you're on garlic, it reduces the amount of time that you have symptoms. So they gave people 1,000 milligrams of garlic, 1,000 milligrams. These people were less likely to get sick by about half. So it reduces the risk of getting sick by 50%. Then those who got sick and took garlic, they were sick for half the amount of time. So let's say with the flu, you're sick 10 days. With garlic and the flu, you're sick 5 days. So really great. Really good idea to take that during cold and flu season. If you've been exposed, definitely take it. And then maybe take that 5 days a week just for maintenance. And during cold and flu season, what's the danger? Garlic has other benefits as well, but really strong for the immune system. There's great data on that. Something else you may not have heard of that also has anti-cancer benefits is astragalus. I forget what exactly astragalus is. There's astragalus root. There's a bunch of research on it. It's really cool. When I made my first customized supplement, it was called Vitality. It was an energy and immune boosting supplement. I had astragalus in there. It was one of the most expensive ingredients to add to it. Astragalus is great for the immune system, also helps reduce cancer. I forget all the benefits of it, but astragalus is very cool. It's going to be one of the more expensive supplements that you find. That is not necessary. That's icing on the cake. I would start with the other ones first. Those are foundational. Elderberry is also helpful. I wouldn't put that at the very top, though. I'd put these other ones first. I feel like those are much more foundational to your immune health than elderberry. Echinacea can also be helpful as well. And then the surprise ones that are great for your immune system are cinnamon and curcumin. Both of them are antiviral, antifungal, antibacterial. That's amazing. These are herbs that kill viruses and bacteria. Great. Take them. Put them in your food and take the supplements. And you want Ceylon cinnamon, Ceylon, and you want organic, and you also want curcumin, organic, and you want curcumin paired with black pepper to increase the absorption. And I take a fair amount of those during the day as well. Take those with some fat to increase absorption. Those are a bunch of immune boosting supplements that are very safe, that are well established in the research literature. And I believe all of those are good for your brain in one way or another. By the way, just things that are good for your brain, things that are good for your immune system are good for your brain, because if they make it less likely for you to get sick, that means that's good for your brain, because that means you're not going to be stuck inside. And that means you can go out and exercise, you can socialize, you can go to museums, you can travel, you can do things. If you're not sick, you're free to live and you can do things that are great for your brain. If you're sick, or if you're hurt and stuck at home, or if you're sad and depressed and don't want to leave home, that's terrible for your brain because you don't get that stimulation. So preventing disease is really important for your brain, as is preventing falls. One of the most important things we can do for ourselves as we age to protect our brain is to prevent falls, not just whacking your head. Ow, that kind of hurt. Not just whacking your head, but also like breaking a hip. A lot of us have known people, especially if you're over 50, people who have broken a hip and they haven't recovered. I think 50% of people who break a hip die within the next year. Let me look that up. How many people with hip fractures die? How many people with hip fractures die? Hip fractures usually happen from falling, sometimes falling on ice. 1 year mortality for hip fractures is 21%. If a hip fracture is not addressed with surgery, the 1 year fatality is 70%. So 1 out of 5 people who get a hip fracture are going to be dead in a year. That's big. So you don't want a hip fracture. So you want to avoid falls. The way to avoid falls or improve your balance. There's some research to show that walking barefoot is really helpful. I don't recommend doing this outside, certainly not in the winter, certainly not if you don't know, certainly if you're not used to it. Walk around your house barefoot or with socks. Don't slip. Make maybe grippy socks, but you don't want to slip. But walking around without a shoe gives your foot the chance to have pressure on the ground and kind of feel itself. If you wear shoes, we've lost that contact with the ground, and then your feet and your toes and your arch aren't flexing to understand the ground. So I recommend walking around your house with socks. And if you're worried about falling, with grippy socks. Not only is that good for your home because you're not tracking, if you wear your shoes outside and then wear them in the house, that's not good because you're tracking in those germs from the outside. That doesn't make sense to me. In college, we had a professor who was Japanese. Her name was, I'm going to have trouble pronouncing her name, so I'm not going to try. And she had us over to her house for senior honors thesis, or for our senior seminar. And she had us take off our shoes. I thought, oh, that's interesting. And that's just, I think that's how they do it in Japan. I haven't been to Japan myself, but this is my experience with someone who was born in Japan. And it was very nice. It made being in our house very nice, right? The floor was very clean and we're walking around with our socks on. It was very cool. So I highly recommend trying to have a shoes off house if that's safe in your house. Don't slip on a kitchen floor or something, and practice walking around without shoes on, and that'll increase your balance. Increasing your balance helps reduce your risk of falls. And then exercise your hands. Exercising your hands is helpful reducing falls because you can catch yourself, right? If you fall, you can brace yourself, and so you want strong hands for that. All right. So that's what we got today. Give yourselves a round of applause. You are awesome for being here. It is Monday, and we've been on for a little over an hour, and a lot of you have been here the whole time. You've learned about great supplements to not only improve your health, but improve your immune health, reduce your stress, how to reduce your stress with breathing technique. A lot of you have committed to calling someone you love and saying, tomorrow, we're doing this tomorrow, saying, hey, I love you. Hope you're doing well. I miss you. Hope you're doing well. Just to connect, just to establish reestablish a social connection, or just to say hi. All right. So please put in the chat what you've learned. Put your first name and where you learned. Peter, I'm going to give them to you really fast. We've been going since approximately 9:20. The supplements for your immune system. First of all, get some iodine or hydrogen peroxide. You can spray that in your nose or gargle with that if you've been exposed to a virus. High doses of vitamin C, zinc, garlic, 1,000 milligrams of garlic, quercetin, and curcumin and cinnamon. Those are the supplements, Peter. If you want to hear that replay again, you can watch on YouTube. I'll give those to you one more time, Peter. All right, everyone, here's the list. Ready? Write it down. 3, 2, 1. Garlic, curcumin, cinnamon, zinc, vitamin C, iodine, or hydrogen peroxide. Yes, it'll be on YouTube. Much love to you, Karen. All right, let me know what you all learned, and then we are out of here. Hello from Nova Scotia. Hi, Michelle. Oh, thank you, Michelle. I appreciate that little flower. You're welcome, little bird. You're welcome, Alexis. Healing chest infection, quercetin. Try quercetin. Priscilla, learned so much. Too much to list it all. Thank you, Priscilla. You're welcome. I'm stopping already. Yes, Phoenix, stopping early tonight. I have some work that I need to finish tonight. I don't need, but very much need to finish. What's the ratio for iodine? You want a 20-to-1 dilution of 20 parts water, 1 part iodine. So this is 10%. So cut this in half. So if you can find this amount, this is from Amazon Basics. This is Providone iodine solution. If you can take this, dilute it by half, and then you can use a Q-tip, put it around your nose, or spray it in your nose with this deal. I'm gonna do this again. So you can spray that in your nose. Sorry, I don't want to breathe that. It shouldn't burn. It should just feel a little strange. That can be really helpful. Yes, do not ingest hydrogen peroxide. Thank you, Powdered Dad. You can gargle half water, half hydrogen peroxide. Yes, don't take too much iron. Thank you, Grace. I appreciate that. Fertility. I just read CoQ10 is good for fertility. I hope I'm not getting sick too. Thank you. Anything else y'all learned before we go? I learned to set up TikTok notifications for when you're live. Is that a thing? Thank you. I hope so. I'm live most weekdays starting at 9:15 Eastern. Sometimes 9:20. Love these lives. Thank you, Sizzlin' Liz. You're welcome, Priscilla. Gracias, de nada. Seriously appreciate all the good information. You're welcome, Peter. I watch a lot, but never comment. Well, thank you for commenting. Yeah, by the way, if you watch a lot and don't comment, would you please comment? I want to know how many of you are out there. Seriously, I'll hang on for another minute. I want to see how many watch but rarely comment. Chris from Costa Rica, awesome. I can't hear enough times what you have to say. Thank you, Phoenix. So great learning from you. Thank you, Nancy. How much quercetin for chest infection? Start with 1,000 milligrams. Check with your medical doctor, but 1,000 milligrams a day is good. Thank you, Annabelle. Callie, learned so much. You're awesome. Thank you. Please, please, please write down what you learned. Write it down like a piece of paper or a notebook. Share it with some people. Share it with the people in your network. Cold and flu season is here. You are armed with the data. You got what you need to protect yourself, protect others, protect your family, protect your friends. Get going. Share the good news. The good news is you do not need to get sick this winter. Sleep. No sugar, low alcohol, low stress, lots of hugs, and these healthy supplements can all make a huge difference. Dana watching from Chicago. Thank you, Patsy. So informative. Thank you. I'm here from Pennsylvania. You're welcome, Carolyn. Revital PCs. I just told my friends and family. Awesome. Thank you so much. RSV is bad. I don't know what RSV is. Power Dad. I need a brief summary. I'm sick right now. Watch the replay on YouTube. It'll be up in a minute. By the way, go below my profile and subscribe to my YouTube channel. All the lives are posted there. Almost all the lives. Sydney, Australia. I'm here from Rhode Island and commenting. Awesome. Thank you. So we got one. Love your videos. Thank you. What do you think of colloidal silver? I think colloidal silver is good. I haven't used it in my nose. It could be good. Probably worth a try. Here from Vegas. Elisa, love your info. I need to reread the iodine H2O mix. Basically, take this and cut this in half and spray it in your nose. Get one of these little container dealies. You can also get these in glass. You can get those on Amazon. This is the first time I stumbled on my live. Well, welcome, power user. Commenting from Kansas, rarely comment. Thank you, Pink Raindrops. Are you sure? I think I've seen you. You have a great handle. I feel like I've seen you. Greetings from New Mexico. Hi from Dubai. Well, hello. Thank you for commenting. Help me with depression and anxiety by doing the breathing exercise. Awesome, Susie Q. You fucking rock. Yeah. I watch, haven't commented. Welcome, Kathy K. So I'm so excited for Susie Q. That's awesome. I love that. It makes my entire day. Helping one person with depression and anxiety, amazing. I feel totally fulfilled. Thank you, Susie Q. Keep it up. Please watch tomorrow and let me know how it goes. All right. Any other usual watchers? I call you kindly voyeurs. Any other voyeurs that are constantly watching but not commenting? Yes. Laughing my ass off. Something for sleep. I recently did a video on top supplements for sleep. I'll give you a couple. I like L-theanine. This is by Nature's Trove. And I like glycine. This is by Life Extension. And then I take melatonin. I take large doses, 12 milligrams a night. Start with 5. And then for sleep, turn off your lights, like turn down your lights at least an hour before bed. Turn off your TV and phone at least an hour, ideally 2 hours before bed. Go to bed at a regular time. And then get sunlight in your eyes first thing in the morning. Like go for a walk as soon as you wake up. So I wake up, I use the bathroom, I put on clothes, I drink my celery juice, and I'm out the door within 10 minutes of my alarm going off. I recommend doing that. It gets your body into a good rhythm. Hello from Santa Barbara. I heard Santa Barbara is beautiful. Watch and share with everyone. They should watch too. Ashley from Wisconsin. Thank you. Phoenix from Vancouver, Canada. Help bring back smell, taste. Oh, if you have long haul virus, there's a great resource below my profile on that. It's a free masterclass. So click the link tree below my profile and click on the bottom link with Dr. Linnell King for long haul virus. Okay. Why celery juice? So good for the gut. Oh, you just got a virus today. So Zaperdap. I'm not going to go over all the stuff we shared today. Please go to my YouTube channel and rewatch this. I've been exposed to a very similar virus, and I'll tell you exactly what I've been doing. I really, really recommend watching it. Order the stuff I show on Amazon. Order this. Order magnesium. Oh, they just spilled some on me. It's really dark and scary. Not order magnesium. Order zinc. Order zinc. Order garlic. Quercetin, curcumin, Ceylon cinnamon, and get your sleep. and then get some hydrogen peroxide, gargle with that, uh, put some diluted hydrogen peroxide in your nose, or diluted iodine, snort that back. Hydrogen peroxide also works. Snort that into the back of the throat. I share this all in detail in the video. Just watch the replay. It'll be up on YouTube. It's up on YouTube right now. If you go to YouTube and search my handle on TikTok, Robert WB Love. You can find this right now. I would watch from the beginning. Seriously, tons of information about this. Can I use a spray for children? Prisa, I don't give first of all, I don't give medical advice. Second of all, I don't give recommendations for children. If I had children, I would do this. I don't know what the right age is. I don't know what the risks are. I would talk to a pediatrician if you're concerned. I would do this for my children. I don't know what's right for your children. Why shellfish allergies and iodine? I don't know why that's a thing. I also don't know about shellfish allergies. That's not something that's on my radar. Do I ever worry about capsular material? No, I don't. And that's something reasonable to look at, Jason Bourne. That's just not something that I'm worried about. That would do nothing for my sleep. Really? I tried Determined Zone. I had bad sleep for years. First of all, just going to bed and waking up at the same time every day makes a huge difference. If you're not doing that, start with that. It might take 2 weeks to get that going. It makes such a huge difference. Can I show it again, please? All right. Seriously, watch the replay. What's going on there? Here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All this is on YouTube as much as you like. Is melatonin safe daily? I take it 5 to 6 nights a week. Check with your medical doctor. Do not give it to children. All right. Thank you so much. It's so good being here with you. I forgot the RAM you mentioned. The RAM? I don't know what you're talking about. Will never make my own videos. I sound a bit tubby. I do. What does that mean, tubby? Where do you source your piracetam? I don't get piracetam anymore. I get aniracetam, and I only share that with my Patreon subscribers because I don't want to sell out of where I buy it. All right. So a couple of free resources for you. Number one, if you want to know the supplements I take, where I buy them, the brands that I get, that is available for you for free below my profile. I'm just going to go through the link. So below my profile is a link tree. Everyone know where the link tree is? It's got all my free stuff. So I'm just going to read to you all the great stuff there. I think the first thing is Chad Packett, who's one of the world's leading experts in sustainable weight loss. His schedule fills up really quickly. I don't know if he has any spots left, but he did offer us some spots for those who are serious about sustainable weight loss. Only click there if you're willing to, diet and exercise and do the things for sustainable weight loss. Please don't schedule a free call with one of his coaches, with one of his weight loss coaches, unless that's something you want to do. Really, really valuable. His team's great. You get to speak with a certified weight loss coach for free about your own personal blueprint, your own personal roadmap for weight loss. And weight loss is really important for reducing the risk of Alzheimer's disease. Also, weight loss is just good for overall health in general, quality of life, all kinds of stuff. I don't know if he has any spots. I haven't asked him this week. He had 16 for us last week, and we filled up within a day, I think. Next is my free report, my top 10 supplements. That's totally free. Just enter your name and email. I email you the free report. You can share it with anyone you like. Yes, Talbot Girl, his program is $1,500, but the call is free, and you get a free weight loss blueprint. And yes, his program does cost money. My masterclass, my free masterclass, is 45 minutes of scientific research on how to prevent Alzheimer's disease. That is available for free. And just enter your email and I send you access to that. Please watch that. I know a bunch of you have watched that. And so that's a great resource. I never comment. Thank you for your knowledge. I'm so glad you commented tonight. Talbot Girl, if you didn't get a blueprint, would you email me? I'll make sure you get. If you didn't get what you promised or what I promised you, that's not right. I will address that right away. So if you were supposed to get a blueprint and you did not get a blueprint, I will rectify that right away. So send me an email at robertwblove@gmail.com. And I will find out what happened because that's part of the deal. So the free offer is you get a weight loss blueprint or roadmap. and you get that. And that's based upon you and your specific, the foods that you like, how much weight you want to lose, how soon you want to lose it, your specific body type. And then if you want to enroll in the program that offers ongoing support, that costs extra, but you do get the blueprint for free. If you didn't get that, something's wrong. I'll make sure that you get that fixed. Thank you for telling me, and I'm sorry about that. How do I get access? To which one, Wild Quartz? All of this is under my link tree. Under my profile picture, there's a link with all these free resources. I'm just going one by one because I want you to know it's available to you. So on TikTok, below my profile is a link tree. Callisto, you mentioned supplements for longevity. Quercetin. Okay, so the free resource. So we got the free weight loss roadmap blueprint, and then we got the top 10 supplement guide. That's from me. We got my free masterclass on how to prevent Alzheimer's. Next, this is not a resource. This is a study I'm doing. It's on some risk factors for Alzheimer's disease. If you have just 5 minutes, if you just click on that, I have data on about 500 people. I want to get at least 1,000 people. And so if you just click on that and fill out this just really quick survey, that would be so helpful to me. And that's just the 5-minute Alzheimer's research study. Next is a link to my YouTube channel. So you can watch the replay and watch the other ones. I think I have 25 or 30 posts by now. Also, next, there's a free wellness journey with Dr. Shannon. So Dr. Shannon gives you a free call with either herself or her husband to discuss your specific needs regarding hormones and optimizing your hormones and your health. And you don't need to sign up with her, but she'll actually tell you what tests to get and where to get them and how to order them online if you don't want to get the test through her. So she's super helpful. We had her on live for like 2 hours. Was that 2 weeks ago? She was great. So that's a free strategy. That's a free wellness call with her. There's my Patreon account if you want to sponsor the channel, if you want to help sponsor the live. I just made so Patreon members get 2 things. One, I share with you where I get my aniracetam. I keep it pretty guarded because I'm concerned it'll run out. We actually sold out Amazon on fish oil. Like I'm subscribed to it, and Amazon sent me a message saying, "Hey, we can't sell you that fish oil right now." So we sold it out, or you sold it out, or I sold it out. Anyway, I don't want my aniracetam to sell out because I don't want that to happen. So I'm keeping where I buy it behind that wall. If you want to know exactly where I get mine, I will share that with you. Also, I recently recorded a video on the exact immune boosting supplements that I take. So the brand of curcumin, the brand of cinnamon, the brand of garlic, all those things. I'm sharing that with that group first, so that way they can buy them and stock up for the winter before I share that. Before I share that with everybody. Next, so that's Patreon. Next, I think I want to turn this one off. We had Coach Eli on a week ago. He was here for Coach Eli. He was the movement coach, where he showed us some great movements that we can do to reduce chronic pain. And so I don't think he's still offering that. And so I'm going to turn that off. And then last is the Long Haul Virus Masterclass. That's with Dr. Linnell King. So if you know someone or if you yourself have long haul virus, that masterclass is free. You can register for that and you can get free access to that. And that's great information. He's a very smart, very handsome doctor from Johns Hopkins. So all that is available to you. And then if you or someone you know has Alzheimer's disease or early stage Alzheimer's disease or dementia, and you want to do something about it, that's who I work with privately. And you can sign up for a free memory test. That is when you sign up for the masterclass, there's a link to the free memory test. And then I'll send you the memory test. It's with really high quality software that's used by Stanford and I think Johns Hopkins and Mount Sinai Hospital. And then I'll go over your memory test scores with you and see if my program's right for you. This is not just, if you think you have memory loss. This is for people who have kind of severe memory loss and you want to get it documented and take action. That's who that's for. And then there's my whole TikTok channel, which is all free information about things you can do to improve your memory, improve your health, reduce your risk of Alzheimer's disease with food, with supplements, with exercise, with sleep, with healthy behaviors, with hugs. And so all that is there for you for free. So that's all I got for you. I hope you are healthy. Hope you had a wonderful Thanksgiving. Tomorrow, I'm going to